level. Who you want that?
Look, if y'all don't know, even after I beat Tank, I'm gonna go back down to 130 and handle some smoke that I got down there at 130. All the champions, I got smoke with.
For beat his ass for y'all talking. For
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
So I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was
all that
quiet,
ski mask
if
and all
y'all was
that.
loud.
They got the hood over there,
Milk, like twisted up. I don't give a fuck about
Y'all
none
can
of that.
do whatever
I don't
y'all
care about
want.
none of
My
that.
mother, he
I don't
can't
care
stop
about no
nothing
hood.
over.
Davis and Lamont Roach have heated up the atmosphere as their epic fight is just weeks away from now. Truly, fans weren't so encouraged by the matchup in the first place. But from the look of things, everyone is now excited to witness the clash of divisions and the clash of champions. It's the world super featherweight champion against the world lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, as in his previous outings, has promised his opponent a devastating knock out all the champions.
The champions. I wanted to unify at least one belt at 130.
Okay.
So whoever the champion is, whoever the champions are, hopefully I can just line them up and then take them out. It's good fights. The champions are Lomachenko, Shakur.
In his words, he said to Lamont Roach, "I'll break you up, keep your mother and your kids at home." Really the last person he told this didn't get to see the 9th round, as he was knocked out cold in the 8th round. With a devastating punch from Gervonta "Tank" Davis, this matchup promises to be even more intriguing when you consider the spice of revenge in Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach might be in different weight classes, but they aren't strangers to one.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's
Well,
gonna
y'all
get
burn
f***ed
y'all
up with.
face up.
What do I look like getting f***ed up?
All never nothing. When Do What Do I Look Like getting up, it brings memories of the match between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, which was their first professional fight. But 7th encounter against themselves, they have fought 6 times in the amateurs, with each of them winning 3 fights apiece. This time, Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis have fought just twice, with Tank Davis winning both fights. Now Lamont Roach seeks revenge, especially for one of the fights where he feels he was robbed by the judges. And there's also another layer of intrigue when we remember that this fight marks the beginning of the end for Gervonta Davis. If the boxing world is to believe his claims, then he's made up his mind to retire this year. Up, got let it.
Stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning. Keep around.
All sincerity, Lamont Roach needs a benefit of doubt from boxing fans to increase his confidence and enable him to get the most desired prize on fight night of victory over Gervonta "Tank" Davis to clinch the World Boxing Association title. Now Lamont Roach has assessed a recent training footage of Gervonta Davis and tweeted on X before eventually deleting the same tweet. Easy work there.
From Ukraine, Dennis Barant, something like that.
Okay. I feel like you and Shakur are really. I think people in the comments are actually wanting that fight, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, they can fight. Shakur can boogie for sure.
It was a random tweet that only those who had followed the progression of his tweets or saw Gervonta Davis's training footage would understand his intentions. Shortly before this, he tweeted a response to a fan who wrote, "We are whipping DC bum for the rest of the year, Ravens today, Tank in December." To this, Lamont Roach responded Davis's training session, and really Lamont Roach has some good work to do in hyping himself up ahead of the fight. He's in such a situation where he needs to focus on the gym and focus on getting a huge payday. Hence, this requires him to keep trying to make an impression before the fight and get Gervonta Davis involved in a serious feud with him. But if you ask me, I'd suggest he gets locked in training to work on everything that needs to be worked on and perfect his skills as he approaches the biggest fight in his career. Maybe he has a contrary opinion, though especially when he began a social media war with Tank Davis. Despite being the World Boxing Association super featherweight champion, fans are not excited about the fight. But the boxer duo decided to hype up the clash when both of them got into a war of words on X, as Roach tried to troll the WBA lightweight champion just to receive a stellar response. Boy, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's just in height and stature. He was, technically bigger than Tank too, but Tank is comfortable at 135. So I don't blame him for fighting that way. But he's not a big 35. I don't see why people like, "Oh, you bought up a smaller guy," why the argument started when heavyweight boxer Marcellus Williams asked Davis about the camp fees to spar with. The champion Williams wanted to work on his skills and had every motivation to make the situation work. However, Lamont Roach Jr. quickly responded to the tweet and stated he going to need to spar you, bro. No funny. Davis immediately asked the meaning behind the post, and Roach quoted a fan reaction who explained the tweet, music. Roach quoted a fan reply who wrote, translation, you need to spar someone heavy cause he is coming with it, explaining the meaning behind Roach's tweet according to the Reaper. The 30-0 boxer needs to spar against heavier boxers before their fight in December, and even though Davis is thinking of an easy fight, Roach will take this opportunity to make a name for himself and increase his stocks. To me person, I'm not ST that you know what I'm saying. They're going to keep saying that. They're going to keep saying that. You know what I'm saying. I fight at 130 because you know that's what I campaign at. That's why I started my career. That's where I campaign. That's why I work my way up to a world title. And that's what I was going to do. My plan was always to move up to 35 and win another title. So Tank did not let the disrespect go idly as he responded and wrote, I advise you not to talk so much. It can be bad for you, you know. That already, though, Yo stating that Roach should do the talk inside the ring and not online, he further warned Roach about the consequences of making the World Boxing Association lightweight champion angry. The war of words quickly picked up steam. From there, as Roach struck back and stated that he was not like the other guys Davis had fought, music. Before over the years, Tank has been accused of hand-picking his opponents. Roach wrote, you must think I'm one of those regular guys you fought or something. LOL cut it out. Measy making sure that the Baltimore native knows it won't be like his previous fights. Even though he is from a lower weight class, he wants this fight and will do anything and everything to shock the world. Von Davis once again decided to control his words and indicated that he would do the talking in the ring. Does that add anything to it? No, not necessarily. I think maybe for the outside. I think maybe it's for the outside. I think. The fire is the competitiveness between us both. Already that we competed twice before in 2 close fights in the amateurs. And Adam, you know what I'm saying, like he quoted Reaper's tweet and just wrote say nothing expressing his superiority over the World Boxing Association super featherweight champion. This online war has created some hype for the fight. He's technically sound. He's a championship level fighter, but as far as opponents for Von Tank Davis in a pay-per-view event go, I prefer to see someone who has produced explosive performance at the highest level or at least is a polarizing personality. Davis is a bona fide pay-per-view star. Whether you agree that so many of his fights should have been on pay-per-view, and I disagree with most of them, he's been established on pay-per-view for a while now. What's been lacking is the proper opposition necessary to charge those kinds of fees. Roach is a solid fighter, but he hasn't reached the pinnacle, and I also don't think he's the nature of character to compensate for that. He's had success at super featherweight, but it's taken him a while to do so. If he'd made numerous title defenses, a fight between him and Davis might make more sense. But he's made one against Fergal MCC. We've seen Davis in this sort of fight before, such as against Hector Luis Garcia, who since being stopped by Davis has only lost a split decision to Roach, but then that's become the pay-per-view model. Once a fighter has that status, he stays on pay-per-view regardless of his opposition. I wanted to get your thoughts. I appreciate you come out, and I wanted to get your thoughts, Danny, on the Tank Roach thing. So just your thoughts on the fight in general. What do you think about the fight? Frank Martin Davis's past opponent is also a solid fighter, and unlike Roach, is established at lightweight. He'd been on course to fight Shakur Stevenson, and he'd produced some good performances that meant there was a curiosity surrounding him at the highest level. There's no question Davis is at the highest level, which is why the careful selection of his opposition is frustrating. Calm down, brother. Come to the fight. That they probably going to get you, __. Up. Look, it's also relevant that Roach, who is spoken about highly by those who know him, isn't the biggest of super featherweights, where he still appears capable of making defenses of his World Boxing Association title, and that Davis is such a powerful lightweight. Similarly, in the build-ups to his fight, Gervonta Davis is mostly silent until he's infuriated, which gets him really messy and insulting, like we saw against Frank Martin, where he threatened his victim that he was going to get his girlfriend and snatch her from him. Music. Well, Lamont Roach has now enjoyed a bit of the Tank Davis drama after saying he would whoop Von Davis's, but just yesterday Von Davis promised him, I'm going to chop Bob and weave. I'm going to end it in the 9th round. I like to show people that they aren't who they say they are. I like to prove it to the people they come with. My first time winning the title, the whole building doubted me. But let's see how it really went. Boxing superstar and World Boxing Association lightweight world champion Tank Davis went face-to-face with red-hot WBA super featherweight world champion Lamont Roach at a press conference in Brooklyn to preview their lightweight world championship clash that headlines a PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video on Saturday, March 1st from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. All right guys turn on face. In the front right here, in the front here, please a 5-time 3-division world champion Davis. Returned to Barclays Center, where he set the building's record for the highest grossing and most attended boxing event when he scored a highlight reel KO of Rolando Romero in May 2022 at the press conference. The fighters reignited their rivalry that dates back to their amateur days and promised fireworks. When they meet in the ring on March 1st, the press tour will continue on Thursday with an open to the public press conference in Washington, D.C. What I said, and F, you said, and yeah, what's your response to that Lamont look? He got scared look. That Gervonta Davis said, the people's energy here is amazing. I won my first championship here, and I have more followers. One of the guys who I came up with in the sport of boxing, and he's still doing well. He's definitely a top opponent. And everyone will see that on March 1st. We'll have to test his chin come March 1st. He might think my opponents don't have chins, but we'll definitely test it. I say leave the kids at home. Lamont Roach, on the other hand, said, I shouldn't be here if I didn't believe I'm going to win. I have heard everybody that I've been in the ring with, and this won't be any different. You saying you going down in a night you know that power cur late. I know you guys some stinky power. That's what I do know. What who said that you said what this is a hell of an opportunity, and we're going to conquer it. Everyone knows what I'm coming to do, and if you don't, you'll be surprised. I'm going to show you what happens when two dogs go in the ring together. My team built my career from the ground up. I have the same team from when I turned professional, and we took on the best fights for my career. I worked myself to the #1 contender spot, lost a fight, and bounced back. We have a common opponent in Hector Luis Garcia, and I beat him easily. The Frank Martin fight was relatively easy for him. It is what it is. Frank was inexperienced and nervous. This is going to be a different fight. When I'm in there, he's going to be a different fighter. When he's fighting me, it's a big difference fighting each other in the amateurs and fighting now. We both evolved and gotten better and do different things in the ring. There might be some tendencies that we already know, but I don't expect those things to matter on the big stage. I don't care about being the underdog or being the favorite. Either way, I'm going to win. There's been a lot of talk about Tank's choice of opponent here. So when Roach got the first crack at the podium, he shared these thoughts with the public. You said, what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the _ to talk how much you want back, how much you want back, because I came up here alone. How much you'll want back, how much you want bet. See it out, HO100. That's a bet. This is a hell of an opportunity. So we're going to conquer it. Roach said, everybody knows what I'm coming here to do. If you don't, then stop. You're going to be in for a surprise. I know he won't be surprised. I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all that people talking stuff about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he knows that I'm a dog and he wants to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm going to show you what happens when two dogs get in the ring together. And obviously I'm going to be the one coming out victorious. Tank would then get his turn to speak his piece. I'm excited to be a part of this. And come March 1st, it'll be a great event. Right now, I'm not really big on getting into it and stuff like that. I'm really out of it right now. But come March 1st, it's going to be a great show. Same results. We just got to wait and see. We got 3 months to get ready, so it'll be a goodie fight against Lamont Roach. I know there were reports of a potential fight with Lomachenko, obviously, that fell through. What made Lamont Roach the next logical choice for you in your next fight. He has skills, even though he's at a smaller weight CL. I feel at that point both fighters took a seat to get into a Quanda session to get more in-depth about the fight. And everything surrounding it here are a few excerpts. Tank on a fight with Lomachenko not going through, and why Roach was the next logical choice for him. He has skills, even though he is at a small weight class. I feel as though Lamont has, and he's actually one of the guys that I came up with in the sport of boxing. Actually, still doing well. Everybody that started with us really, not in the picture right now. So people don't really, I would say, know him, but he definitely has the skills. Definitely a top opponent, Roach, on how his style will be different from what Tank has faced previously. At skill-wise, I bring a lot to the table. I can adapt. I can fight various different styles. I'm tough, I'm gritty, I'm smart, I'm witty, whatever the case. Maybe whatever I got to pull out my bag of tricks, that's what I'm going to do the rest of them. Either they were one-trick ponies, or they just ain't have enough. I actually started with, and came out with in a sport of box. And I'm actually like Tank on after next year. I'm out of it. Gervonta Davis said on Tuesday evening, indicating he plans to retire at the end of 2025. Before that, he will presumably face old amateur rival Lamont Roach on March 1st at Brooklyn's Barclays Center in New York. Gervonta Tank Davis knows how to shock the fans, whether by his power hitting inside the boxing ring or his comments. Outside of it, the American fighter famed for his penchant for knockouts is growing weary of doing it all. So instead of solidifying his resume and legacy as one of the greatest, he might be looking for an early exit. The fans have seen very little of him in the last couple of years, so they expected him to be more active after putting his legal troubles behind. The champion seemed to do the same for a while. He fought Frank Martin this June, but again, despite the promises and rumors, his return was only prolonged. Now it seems that he might be willing to make his absence permanent. During the first official press conference for Davis versus Roach, Tank lifted the veil from the expectations fans could have from him. The Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like a talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment. And now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously when asked about what his schedule in 2025 looked like, he straightaway hinted at hanging up gloves. He said, after next year, I'm out of the sport. This declaration didn't sit well with the fans, as they have gotten used to him stepping inside the ring occasionally. They didn't shy away from expressing their disappointment and discontent as they took to the comments section. A fan tried to make sense of Davis's comments, as the latter had recently signed a new fight deal. They asked, thought he had a 7-fight deal. This lack of burning desire to put fans in sweet science first always held him back among certain sections of fans, which seemed to have only solidified. Now someone found logic in Davis's decision. They declared health as wealth, his style may not allow him to have a long career, whereas Calvin forced up for it, and Lard it be usually they're around to might be gain love for it. You never know. You guys, to boxers, after they quit the sports, tend to suffer multiple health issues, such as severe headaches, sciatica, and more, as the heavy toll on their bodies finally starts to show. Given Davis's high pace and aggressive style, he could also face serious repercussions. Apart from Ryan Garcia, Davis hasn't fought the A-listers of the lightweight division, and the pressure is mounting on him to fight the other champions, such as Shakur Stevenson. But if he doesn't, then slowly he could fall out of fans' favor. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.